mid-October and it's time for us to pot on the seedlings that we sowed a few weeks ago. You remember I sowed some foxgloves, which are biennials, so we need to sow those the previous year for flowering the following year. And some hardy annuals are actually better sown in the autumn because you get a much stronger plant. Once we get to the warmth of the spring, the soil starts to warm up, you'll get stronger, earlier flowering plants. So we're now going to pot these seedlings on. I'm using John Innes No. 1, SylvaGrow John Innes No. 1, but any of the SylvaGrow multi-purpose, SylvaGrow with added John Innes, SylvaGrow organic, they'd all do a very good job. Now, the container I'm reusing, this is a container I got when I bought some bedding plants earlier in the year. Nice cells, not too big. You can pot on into pots, but for the winter months, if you pot a small seedling into a pot that's too large, one problem can be that it hasn't had time to develop a good root system. So there's a danger of it sitting in wet conditions and not doing so well. So try and keep your the size of the container that you're using down to a relatively small cell rather than a slightly over large pot. So I'm just going to, this John Innes is a lovely free flowing compost, and I'm just going to use it to fill this cell tray. You can see very easily fills the cell. Just consolidate it slightly. I'm going to do this is Ami Majus, which is a lovely, it's like a cow parsley. It's like a large cow parsley. It grows quite tall, but flowers endlessly in the summer from late June, July through to August. A really nice showy back of the border plant, very sort of cottage gardening. So these are the seedlings. As you can see, these were sown in SylvaGrow. Absolutely fantastic root system. I'm going to take my gloves off for this because we need to be a little bit careful. Ami is of the carrot family. They generally don't like too much root disturbance, but this one, I wouldn't like to call it a thug, but it's a little bit more amenable to having root disturbance than, say, if you were growing carrots in the vegetable garden. You wouldn't want to be transplanting carrots. So I'm just going to gently tease them into individual seedlings, and you'll have more than you probably need, so you can discard any that are really small, and gradually just pull them apart. Gently, but we are breaking roots here, but this is, these hardy annuals, they won't mind this too much, they'll soon recover. And so having done that, I'm then just going to take the seedling, generally with seedlings, hold them by the leaves rather than the stems. This is a robust seedling, so it's coping quite well, but generally speaking the rule is to hold a seedling by the leaves, not the stems, and literally just make a hole and pop the seedling in. This is a much smaller one. Making a hole, pop it in, gently firm the compost around, make the hole, and there we go. And I'm just going to do one more. Pop that in. I'll just finish this line. Pop it in. Just to get proper depth so that the compost is at the same position as it previously was in the seed tray. Just a nice little tap, and that's ready to go. Now the important thing is we have broken roots here. This seedling is going to be vulnerable for a while. Now in mid-October we're not going to get too much strong sunshine, but until these roots have started to grow again, these seedlings are slightly vulnerable, so don't place this in an overly warm place or in warm sun. The best place would be a greenhouse, as long as the greenhouse isn't getting too hot. Just avoid too much evaporation coming through the seedlings until they're established. Give it a nice water, and then those will sit there. They'll develop into some nice seedlings that when we get to the spring, you can pot them on at that point into a larger pot. Lovely young plants to pop out in the border in March, April time. Fantastic flowers for the summer.